Howdy-yo, everyone! Velocity here, back in action for more The Anomaly of the Note Attraction. That's right, for some reason these two have a note connected to them. And we don't know exactly why that's the case, but they have some explaining to do. I do remember now, 'twas a week ago, pre-adventure, that note was delivered unto me. On the day with there, and I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, and yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow. I did see the note had vanished. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I could point out the villain here. And as for that torn-off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it. You now claim to have received this letter. Do you, Mr. Shakespeare? Faith, 'tis so, my lord. And I would swear to have it set upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet, 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it. Well, that being the case, young lady, it would seem appear that your state's testimony was a lie. Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying. I beg your pardon? I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said. Fledgling artists don't lie. That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is. If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without a question, found in Mr. I don't see why I should explain. Sorry? I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is to just say what happened. That's all. It's your job to get the explanations of the proof. You, the fledgling lawyer. The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Very well. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses. Miss Green clearly did not break into Mr. Shakespeare's room. There could be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note. Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to possible explanation for all of this. Not a pretty one. Yeah, why do they both kind of know each other, but, like, are also that way? Because at first I thought I was like, oh, Shakespeare's a clear villain here, but now I'm thinking, what if she's the villain? You know? Hold it! What do you mean by that, bud? And can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all? Nay, sire. 'Tis as strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine own. Verily. 'Tis impenetrable. But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbor, so surely you knew him, didn't you? Alack, with the choices betwith, I knew him, and I knew him not. Then 'tis with foreboding that I be forced to declare we were by some small measure acquainted. Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the Slug and Salad. Certainly that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature? Marry, naught will have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. So 'tis true I was compelled by my own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet in the end, my curiosity was not sated. I did tether a long hour, yet nobody. So he did show up. Hold it! So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared? Well, yes, sire, 'tis as thou sayest. Really? You paused for a moment before you answered. In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall. Really? Do you mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after? I was all alone that night at the Slug and Salad, my lord. No, it's returning to me now. I did treat my lips to almost clear water, and my innards to a premium crust of bread. And all around me danced a great many companions. What do you mean? Files, sir, files. Flies, sir, flies. Good lord! In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance, from a midsummer night's dream, come to taunt me? I think they were just flies. I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me? But you now should. I don't think that matters as much, but... Yeah, you think I snuck into the man's room, did you? Why would I? Hold it! It seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shamspeare about 1 week ago. Oh, does it? But for some reason, it ended up in your possession? I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings. Objection! For what reason would the witness have done that? I won't deny that Miss Green possesses a possession of the note, but appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless. Miss Green couldn't only have come into possession of the note by stealing it from Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing. But there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though. Yes, we should pursue the idea, Miss Naruto. Close now. I can feel it. We're so close to a breakthrough. Point out the villain here. Why is he the villain now? Hold it! So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter? Is that it? A fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introvert characters. Oh. Oh, they're in on it, aren't they? And she's an actor. She's like an actual good actor. Watch. Watch. Introverted they. This fledgling doth readily cast aspirations about my nature. Yet I am an angel, a seraphim. Birds do harmonize with my song. The wind doth frolic on my wing. Oh, pity, where dost thou accuse one so pure of heart, ample woman? Pure of heart? Don't think so. A reflection like me could see you're just a failure. Tragedy! Thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh, the days, oh, the years, alas, to enlighten thee. Thou must wait so long and in vain. Mr. Naruto, interject with some clever remark. This is your chance to shine. I'm no Shakespearean actor, Mrs. Sato. No, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument is evidence. Yes. It's clear that Miss Green did in fact break into Mr. Shamspeare's room, isn't it? And that's where she found this letter. Yes, two more or less foregone conclusions that led me to one terrifying conclusion. Terrifying? Yes, I'm afraid to say. The outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. Okay, so I have no idea where to go about this. I guess we could look at the third one that he did.
Hold it!
What exactly do you notice it had gone missing? Such idle thoughts nary accompany my mind. I busied with greater ideas. In other words, you didn't notice. Several days passed before your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your home. Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval. Such idle thoughts ne'er accompany my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. And yet during that time, Miss Green was comatose in hospital, was she not? Clearly then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shamspeare's room. Yes! Yes, of course. It's all some sort of misunderstanding. Isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir? Oh, he doesn't believe that shit for a second. You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation as to how you came by the note. I am not here to advocate for your defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that. Oh, dearie me. What's Lord Van Zeek's getting at? I think I stuck it to the man's room to you. Why would I? It feels too flimsy of a thing. A bottle found in the possession of... Oh! Yeah! Let's look at it first, before we do anything else. Anything out of place. Okay. So nothing here. Oh, hello. So this is the poison we've been hearing so much about. Strychnine. There are a few remnants on the bottom of the bottle here. Look. Must be tempted to try it. Of course not. As long as we don't lose this trial. No! Even if we lose the trial! No! We mustn't lose the trial in the first place, Mr. Naruto! Make your mind up, Susato-san. Okay. There's a little bit left. I guess we could just go ahead and just present it. Let's look at something else. Okay. I don't know anything about it. She could not know anything about the envelope, quote unquote. But why would I? Why would you? To poison. Aru?
Objection!
Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle. And though the contents split during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. According to the defense's independent analysis, Mr. Sloane's chemistry said, the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine. The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspeare. Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings. For one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shamspeare's room with poison. Can this be? You broke into my room to... It may seem incredible to the court. For the remaining clues, there's only one logical conclusion that we could reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamspeare's life with poison was you, Miss Olivia Green. Oh dear,
Oh, dearie.
Order! Order! Counsel, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison in the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill? Yes, my lord. There's no other explanation to explain the facts. Now, Miss Green did indeed set this ominous trap 6 days ago. The victim had put his mouth on the pipe that very evening as expected. The attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago. Surely? Well, it's a very good point. Perhaps not, my lord. I beg your pardon? There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident on Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. This circumspected criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time. Lord Van Seeks? Of course, the following morning, there was more activity at Mr. Shakespeare's address. More activity? Ah! Yes! You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder? That's right. And as the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shakespeare was meddling with the gas in the pipe for a very sinister reason himself. He caused the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby obfuscating the occupant. Once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shakespeare had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. His intended victim being in the prison cell. With the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipeline dormant. And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again. Right! Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here, the Old Bailey, came to an end. The trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back was duly acquitted. It resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out. And Mr. Shakespeare was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison was present on the mouth of the gas pipe. Had been there in the victim's room some 4 days earlier. Mary! With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of a plan. What plan? The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the slug and salad at 5 o'clock, and the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are now clear. Then show that the lodger would not be at home at the stated time. To make sure I wasn't home. Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say that letter was written by Miss Green? Yes. In order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room. Order! Order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness? Just who are you? Why are you trying to kill me? Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up. Someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial. So that's what's behind all this. We'll share your apparent understanding of the court, please, counsel. Which person is behind this woman's motive for the attack on the victim's life? Well, obviously, it's Duncan.
Take that!
Duncan Ross. That's right. Before the defendant, Mr. Natsume, took up residency in the lodgings of Mr. Garbadins, somebody else was running the room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago, when the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodgings. That does ring a vague... Of course, yes, I remember now. The young man they claimed was strangled by the convict's curse, or some such. Tally, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shakespeare blowing into the gas pipe and causing a gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple. Ugh! Well, what do you know? The world is so unfair. Curses, curious deaths. That's all people care about. It's any interesting story they want to know. Doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. Once they're bored, 1 month later, once the story's lost its appeal, they've once forgotten him. You mean you? Duncan was? Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? May not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shakespeare. But she's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry. Marry? Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shakespeare, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe? This is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in understanding that you now accuse both parties, counsel? Each on different counts of murder? Yes, my lord. That's correct.
Objection!
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken a lungful of dubious gas that's causing his judgment to be clouded. What? Why would Mr. Shakespeare have wanted to kill these lodgers as you say? You have completely failed to provide a motive to sustain your accusation against the man. Yes, that's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I have been slighted. It is lies. Oh, lies. I deny every utterance. You'll have to forgive me, Mr. Naruto, sir. But I don't intend to admit to anything either. Miss Green? I'm sure you think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel.
Objection!
But you broke into the man's room. You didn't do it to smear poison on the pipe. What was your reason? I thought I'd have a look around, that's all. Sorry? Alright, I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence for something in his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life. Oh, villainous! Oh, villainy! Oh, tyranny! Oh, wrongdoing of a woman! But in my case, wherein I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock. All places falling apart, the knocks on the door are no different. Duncan showed me once how to unlock the door with some terps and a piece of wire. Lawfulness, oh, awfulness, Oh, tyranny! Oh, poverty of a woman! We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion. But for now, tell the court what you found. What evidence you searched for. Well, I suppose the note that I sent him lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it, I discovered a secret hiding place. Eh? Yes, we also discovered that hiding place. Inside, we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin. Yes. Well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty. What? There was something in it? Yes. This rather nice key. What are you doing with that? What the? Every ounce of color has drained from his face. Give it here. Give it to me now! It's mine. I inherited it. What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it. No, What's all this about? You inherited that key? It's obviously important to you, since you've gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you. But what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care. Give it back this minute! Give it to me! Calm yourselves, witness. Mr. Shansbury has tried, and in one case succeeded, to take the life of 2 launchers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened. It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusations against Mr. Shansbury, at first. But considering everything we now know, I think there's actually something that can explain it. What? We need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal. Everything we've seen and heard. So I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all of those events. In that case, Consul, I must demand you present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is that you can explain the motivation of Mr. Shansbury's alleged crimes? Well... Has something to do with this.
Take that!
That's an official police report, is it not? The Selden file. How did you get hold of that? Selden? The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross, the defendant, Mr. Knudsen. And only one thing linking them. The fact that they have lodgings in the same room. Well, yes, we know this certainly. The room that was formerly occupied by Selden. Until, that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries. I see. It so happens that the convicted Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. There was some £1,000 worth of loot that he stole, which as yet remains to be found. Ah, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. It's written in his file here. £1,000 lost en route to hell. That was how the paper summed it up. It seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. Not hard to imagine Selden entrusting the inmate with his most closely guarded secret. The location of the stolen loot, and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in. I You mean this key is... Mr. Shanspear, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died. Were you not? What are you talking about? 'Tis a false charge, I tell you. A false charge. Name of the inmate who was with Selden as his death isn't noted in this file. But a simple telegram to the prison where he died would quickly tell us how false the charge really is. But even if it's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every occupant of the confines logics? Only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in that very room that Selden had his loot. So, it all comes out. Yes, having established that, all of Mr. Shanspear's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense. When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mr. Gobbinson's lodgings in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice. Selden's old room had already been let to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mr. Shanspear subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into a newly vacant room. However, a certain jittery someone had beat him to it. Mr. Sasaki Natsume, the defendant of this case, no less. So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shanspear? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avarice reason. To get your hands on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict. Ah! Like I gotta scuff it before they stretch me neck. It's no want you to have me loot. Anything to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. Is it in the room I was lodging when they got me? Yeah, this is the key to it. Take it. Always stay one step ahead. See you in hell, I guess. Shanspear.